most women are out of shape in every function you go to. It's just an observation. I actually include myself in this. I'm not in the best shape either. You look around the room and men be in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and a lot of them be in shape. Then you look around the room at the women, and the women be in their like 20s and 30s. You know what I'm saying? Younger women. And most, if not all, the women be out of shape.
Hey, YouTube. How are y'all today? It's been a little while, but we're back, and we're back with another video.
Yes.
My name is Mary.
And Tiara.
Welcome back to our show. So today we're going to talk about a viral conversation that I've been seeing all over TikTok and now on YouTube. I feel like every single day there's a new video about it. Maybe it's my algorithm, or maybe people really are just finally starting to have more real conversations, but it is about Black women and weight. Are Black women just lazy and fat and unmotivated and blame the system and only care about the male gaze, or is there actual reasons and why we're this way, and how can we actually tackle it? Not from a point of blaming, not from a point of shaming, but from a place of empowerment. So that's kind of what we want to get into today. Obviously, we're going to explore the more spiritual, esoteric aspect of what it means to live in a heavier body, not just a heavier body, but an unhealthy body, a fat body that's not fat, to live in unhealthy. It's not just, we're going to talk about not just what it's like. It's not.
Shit. Just walk. Don't run. I know.
It's the heat. Sorry. So we just want to invite a more nuanced conversation around what I've seen online. I feel like it's been two groups. Group A, that's just like, Black women are lazy. What the fuck do you mean racism and fatness is correlated? We have no motivation. All we do is blame everything but ourselves. And we just stay fat because we want to appease the male gaze, or what we think the Black male gaze looks like or is looking for. And there's group B that's saying Black women are tired. We're stressed out. We don't have access to fresh foods. All we are is we have so much on our plates. We're under so much stress. The last thing that we can do is take care of our bodies. Or that Black women are naturally big. If you look at Africa, if you look like Black people across the world are bigger than Europeans or Asians. So it's kind of been like two separate conversations, and it's not really productive, because what happens to the people in the middle, and what happens to the people that need not necessarily hand-holding, but need the whys.
Yeah.
And need things beyond, you're just fucking lazy. That doesn't help anybody. And so that's what we want to talk about today. So without further ado, let's jump right into it.
Let me get this straight. When other races tell Black women that they need to live a healthier lifestyle because they're more prone to health problems, y'all tell them to stay out of Black folks' business. Okay. When Black men get on here and tell Black women that they need to live a healthier lifestyle, y'all tell them to stay out of women's business. Okay. When Black women get on here to tell other Black women that they need to live a healthier lifestyle, y'all tell them to mind their business. Y'all say we're the least supported group in America, but when somebody gives y'all sound advice, y'all would rather hold on to 400 years of slavery rather than taking accountability for your present day actions. Okay.
But before we even choose a side, let's zoom out and look at the bigger picture here, the bigger thing that we have, which is our soul, and the spiritual implication of what it means to have a healthy body, what the body even is, what the vessel even is, and why it's such an obstacle, I would say, for the Black woman to, I guess, conquer or be successful in. What does it mean to live in a healthy body? Because it's not about the numbers on the scale or what size jeans that you wear, even though, of course, that matters. But it's more of what it means to be in a healthy vessel, and why that is so important when it comes to spirituality and living a healthy life. The relationship that we have to have with everything is so important, especially food, because it is very important that you are particular and know exactly what you're putting in your body, how much you're eating, basically, and the discipline that you have with food and the relationship that you have with food. We grew up in Africa, so we kind of saw food was a fuel. Sometimes you would see people that really didn't have as much as you did, and they, food is such a big thing, and there was so much respect that was tied to food. And so growing up in Africa, I felt like we didn't really get the toxicity and the dysfunctionality of what the Western world or the Western Africans, or not the Western Africans, the Western Blacks got. Yeah. And how food was here in America, the relationship that Black women or Black people have with food is more of a survival thing.
Right.
Growing up, we used to fast, and that was a very normal thing to do. In fact, that is a religious thing to do, is fast, detox the body. And red meat was only eaten a certain amount, and you basically didn't eat red meat all the time. So all of that was really interesting. And when we moved to America, we saw sweets as treats.
Right.
We used to eat whatever. Our parents, that culture shock was so big with food as well. And we put so many unhealthy things in our body, but sure enough,
have the knowledge.
We didn't have exactly.
We just thought, oh my goodness, abundance of food, not realizing that how bread is not the same bread that we have back home.
Exactly.
This fruit is not the same fruit we eat back home.
Not understanding ingredients.
Before we knew it, everybody in our household was
overweight
and unhealthy in a matter of just years of us moving here.
So we had to quickly realize that this is not the same fresh food that we're so used to back home. And so I think that's really interesting how an advanced civilization that is well structured lacks in having actual healthy nutritional meals for families. And I don't think that is
accident. Yeah.
By accident. Is very purposeful, made to be that way. So we don't obtain the power, and they know how powerful Black is, right? How powerful it is to be in a melanated body.
Yeah. You start to think, how did we get here? I've done a good amount of research, especially in my early 20s, about Black history. A really good book I definitely recommend for everybody to read is Fearing the Black Body by Sabrina Strings. It gives you some perspective on why weight and racism and class and all that stuff is connected. It is related. Mm-hmm. That's not a hoax. That's not some bullshit talking point. That is real. And so you had a time where access to food was limited. They talk about how, women in the 90s and whatever were healthier. I think America in general was healthier back then because of the quality of the food that we were getting, and how it really has dwindled down in quality and everything since then. But I think also you have to think about historic, when you look at African American Southern culture in particular, you have the grandmothers that would not let you leave the table until you clear your plate.
Right.
We had the ones, they were happy and joyful to see you getting bigger because that's something that they didn't have growing up. They didn't get to have the luxury of eating whatever they wanted and being able to cook for their family in abundance. So in return, that's what they did for their kids and their grandkids. And those are your parents that now have raised a generation that is overweight. People are in their 20s and are obese, even kids, which is even sad because habits does go down. If you're overweight, you're more likely to have overweight children. And if you're overweight as a child, you're more likely to be overweight in your adulthood. So on and so forth. It's a sick cycle, and that those things are very real. And what environment has to do with that is we were pushed into certain neighborhoods and environments that fostered unhealthy living. That way they can block our power. They can cause us to be overweight. But the thing is, a big part of that is accountability. There's always going to be somebody to blame, no matter what it is in this life. You can blame the man, you can blame racism, you can blame all those things. And two things can be true at the same time. I think that's a big thing that we always talk about is the nuance of all of this. But there has to be a certain level of accountability. There is a lot of resources that you can look at. Another book that I would definitely recommend is Farming While Black. That book really taught me a lot about access to nutritional food, especially for the Black community, resources to learn how to garden, how to plant foods, how to grow foods, anything from chilies to tomatoes. There's anything you can do to fight for a better life. And once you're in a healthier body, it'll be a lot easier to alchemize your situation and move into neighborhoods that are thriving, to have the energy to petition for a green store in your neighborhood. There's so many implications and so many generations that will be affected if you choose to live a healthy life. The ripple effect of you choosing to be healthy, of you choosing to not be a victim, is far beyond yourself. It's your lineage that will be drastically improved, not just by you alchemizing your situation and getting into a better neighborhood, getting into a better situation, but also teaching people around you that being healthy is a good thing.
Exactly.
Doesn't mean a size 2, like my sister said, or doesn't mean you have to necessarily super thin or anything like that, because I think when people try to compare Africans are big too, But when you look at an African woman that's larger, her body composition is drastically different than overweight women in the States. That body composition is very real. Holding weight around your stomach versus around your butt or your thighs are drastically different and have different health implications. When there's fat around your organs versus when there's fat around your face, your neck. You know, I'm not trying to shame anybody, but don't try to compare things that are not the same. Even if women are prefer to be bigger in Africa, their food quality is drastically different. They're not falling for, I'm not saying nobody in Africa gets diabetes. I'm not saying nobody in Africa is overweight and unhealthy. I'm not saying that. But to say that we're just meant to be bigger people is a cop-out. Sure, the Eurocentric BMI scale may not work for us, but our bone density, our ability to be on the thicker side, maybe accounts for about 10 to 15 pounds at most. Right. But it does not account 130 extra pounds on you. It doesn't account you being size 30.
Exactly.
That does not, there's no science that says that that's how it works. Mm-hmm. So let's stop gaslighting and let's stop being delusional and let's start getting real about changing our circumstances. And, seriously. And I can sit here and talk about what it means for your body, what it means for your health. But at the end of the day, let's talk about what's even more important for us is the spiritual implications. If Black women are one of the most powerful beings on this planet, who benefits from us being unhealthy, fat, stressed? It's not us. And how are we supposed to lead and come into this new world when we're not healthy?
Call it what you want, but I do not believe a woman who is out of shape deserves to be in a relationship. When it comes to love...
Baby, be quiet. I have 6 chairs around my dinner table. Pick one and have a seat. How are you going to use scripture to promote your vain way of thinking? Bless your little young, unmarried, never had a baby heart. You're just as pretty as you want to be, and I can tell you probably thought you ate when you posted that video, but sweetie, it's obvious that you need some spiritual protein. I used to think that I knew everything when I was your age too. Boy, I do not miss being that stupid. But keep on living, baby, because you just got here. In the meantime, let mama share some wisdom with you. Being emotionally, physically, and spiritually fit is not always reflected by how you look on the outside, sweetie. It's an inside thing. Besides, I know people twice your size and twice your age that could run circles around you, no doubt. Men do love a pretty face and a tight body, but they will not live with a woman who has an ugly attitude or spirit. You don't get to say who does and who does not deserve to be in a relationship. Unless you're a medical physician, you don't get to say who's in and who's out of shape. Being skinny does not mean you're healthy or attractive. Besides, there are a lot of us who are comfortable in our grown women bodies. While you're making vain videos about how a person should look, we're out here getting degrees, running businesses, and raising families. Lemon. That's what I'm missing. I'm missing lemon. Mama bears who put on a little extra thickness over the years possess a strength that you can't get at the gym, sweetie. It's a maternal instinct that's a danger to be messed with. We possess a wisdom that you have yet to walk into. But you should look forward to it. You can't talk about how other people look when you have diarrhea of the mouth. It's a whole new level of letting yourself go that you will eventually come to understand. You said in one of your videos that there were women who got offended because you stepped on some toes. I think they got in their feels because of your audacity. Because you're another youngin' with an iPhone and a social media account who thinks that you can play God in the lives of others. The videos that you're making right now, sweetie, are not gonna age well for you. I'm talking from experience. I've been humbled by God and it wasn't fun, girl. This is good. This is coming from a woman who's been happily married for the past 29 years, a wonderful husband, and gorgeous children. I'm not trying to be mean, I promise you. I am saying this out of tough love. But if I stepped on any of your toes, it was because I meant to, with every single ounce and pound of extra fluff. You might catch that one tomorrow.
Health is such a personal thing and it's a personal journey, and it ties directly to your spiritual hygiene and the connection that you have with source. When you eat food that, I think I already touched on this, but when you eat food that is filled with electric and it's alive, it's not dead, it's alive, it's green, it's made to fuel your body, you feel so much better. You look better, your skin is better, your organs thank you. So you're going to have the energy to manifest anything that you want in life, as in the experiences, because everything is manifestation. Breathing is manifestation, but intentional manifestation. So if you are trying to do anything for yourself or your family and you feel like, why is this not working? Or I do my affirmations, but I'm always fighting. Well, look at your diet. There's so many parasites that we have in our bodies. And detoxifying, even you can go inside of a sauna, but even sitting out like this right now.
Oh, we're in a sauna, right?
We are. detoxifying our bodies and sweating it through our organ, the biggest organ in our body. So that ties hand in hand with how you radiate, how you look, how you feel. So yes, what you eat and what you put in your body is going to affect you spiritually. You cannot cancel that out. That ties hand in hand in how you feel. And it's not about appearance. It's not about being a size zero. It's about how you feel. When you're eating healthy and you are eating foods that are filled with nutrition and vitamin, you're not going to wake up and feel sluggish. You're going to have energy to get up and want to go to the gym. You're going to have energy to run with your kids. You're going to have energy to do whatever you want. And you will radiate and be a high frequency or radiate in a high frequency when you are eating lighter. Because when you are also eating, you're overeating, which a lot of Americans, I myself included, this is implicated. I sometimes can overeat. Even when I'm full, I'm like, oh, that's so good. I just want to overindulging. Yes, that's not balance. When you have a well-balanced diet and you look at the portions that you are taking in, just know that if you have a medium portion, you're going to be size medium. If you eat in a smaller portion, you're going to be a size small and large and so on. You get my drift. So you have to really just take accountability, and accountability is self-love. Even in the spiritual community, I see unhealthy women talking about spirituality, and there are amazing, beautiful women and powerful. What they're saying is relevant. However, I always think about why they don't talk about health. Why is health topics not ever mentioned? And that is the very body, your vessel. That is the straight connection to source and your higher self. If you don't feed your body in a good way, like that stream of consciousness that we are all connected to is not going to be a clear message. If you're more dense, you're going to be prone to low vibrational things happening and low vibrational parasite thinking and negative thinking. And so affirmations are not going to correct your bad eating habits. We have to be real. We really have to. This discussion, and I'm not shaming anybody. It's not about size. It's not about judgment. No, it's just it's the science of health, what that means. And Black community, we really need to work on that and be realistic. I go to events and places and I see my Black women. We are beautiful. Beauty, it has nothing to do with your size, but I see you breathing heavy behind me. That should be telling you something. The way you feel, it indicates what you need to do. Your body is constantly talking to you. You just got to take the time and listen. And so, yes, that is something that we need to address in the Black community and Black women. We need to take that seriously, be a little bit more selfish, put ourselves first, because how are you supposed to take care of your whole entire village when you are pleasing and doing for everybody else, putting yourself last and eating unhealthy things that are not good for your body and being addicted to sugar and being addicted to whatever else and thinking, oh, it's fine. I'll just bypass or I'll just pray it or affirm it away or I'll just get all the crystals and I'll do all the spells. There's no spells in crystal. There's not an amount of spells and crystals that you can do that will correct your addiction and your bad habit of eating. And so that's something that we gotta take care of that, y'all. And I say that with all love.
And that is where this conversation has to come, from a place of self-love, from a place where you're not feeling shamed or pressured, because that doesn't help anybody. When you're done with your bullshit, when you're done and you're ready to make change, that's the time when change will really come. There's definitely been times where I've been bigger, there's been times where I've been smaller, and I know how I feel. And maybe if you've always been big, you don't know what it looks like on the other side. But the thing is, you have to do this for you. Not for a man, because that's another big thing that I see. Oh, I'm big and I've been married 35 years. Oh, I'm big and niggas still calling me. I'm big. I can still steal your man. I thought we were decentering men in 2025.
Come on now.
I thought we were decentering men, because I don't get it. Because what does men being attracted to you have anything to do with your health? Men would be attracted to a stool with a hole in it. That's not the flesh you think it is. And to be completely honest, the kind of men you attract are also low vibrational men. I'm sorry. I'm just going to say it. The kind of men you're going to attract when you're a certain size are men that are looking to you to cook for them, to take care of you. That's the biggest thing that I hear when they're like, oh, I like me some big women. They're going to make sure they're going to be good in the kitchen. They're going to make sure things are taken care of. They're going to make sure they buy you that car. It's service. Black women, it's service. But that's how men describe women in general, is what they can do for them. Men are very selfish, self-centered, service-based men.
And a man, you don't see him walk around unhealthy.
And a man that loves food, that part. And a man that loves food is going to want to look for a bigger woman because he's going to prioritize himself. It was, ooh, if I get with a bigger chick, she's going to cook for me. She's going to be in that kitchen. She's not going to be checking for nobody outside of me.
Obviously not.
She's going to treat me like the price.
Because he is.
And for women who are, as women, I thought we were trying to heal our femininity. I thought we were trying to get that princess treatment. I thought we were trying to get into this era of the sprinkle and dating men that actually care about us and will do for us. So I'm not saying that there's no healthy relationship with a bigger woman and a man. I'm not saying that does not exist, but those things are not, it's not something you see all the time. Mm-hmm. So let's be real. Let's look at people in your own lives. Handbrake.
All right.
Girl needs to be on 10.
20.
Timu fan break.
Oh, yes. Free sauna, y'all.
Like I was saying.
Let's get back.
So this men cannot be the motivating factor to your health. They really can't, whether it's good or bad. Don't do it for any. I can't be your motivating factor. You're going to have to decide what your goal in this life is. And if your goal is to live a healthier life, to be able to manifest, to be able to outcome your situations, to find love that is not selfish on either side, that is not centered around care and what you can do for them, but about you. You want somebody that can honor you, love you, treat you how you deserve to be treated, not for convenience, not for service, but because of your soul. And it's crazy because it is about how you look on the outside, but it really is about how your soul is cared for, how we talk about. And so that's the most important thing, because men that respect you, sure, the first thing you see on anybody is visual. Being overweight is going to get into the way of your career, of your love life, of your friendships. You can't say it doesn't affect those. There's women here crying about that every single day. Mm-hmm. I've lived it too. I don't need that example. I know what it looks like and how you are treated when you move in this world of a certain size. And shaming you is not going to be the way to get you out. But it's about how can we be accountable? What can we do? Can you walk every day? Can you choose to skip a meal? Can you let your stomach actually get hungry? Can you let your stomach tell you you're hungry? When was the last time you heard your stomach growl on purpose? That's a sign that your body is going through detoxification. It's okay to skip a meal. I have an auntie that used to say, starve, it's good for you. Of course, we're not. Yes, she was African for sure. But so they say things like that because it builds self-discipline. It builds a connection to your brain that says, I don't have to be dependent on food. That, hey, I have other things that I can focus on. Right. So that's our call to action to you is what can we do? What is lacking? What are we missing? What is missing from this conversation? It feels like a cycle and it feels like throwing the ball back to each other and just never ending the game. So what is missing? I'm just I really have been just sitting on that. And what we wanted to have this conversation is, am I missing something? Do I have to think about my own biases? I'm sure there's my personal biases that go into everything. So that's my call to action is what can we do to be better? Whether it's weight, whether it's finances, whether it's socioeconomic status, whether it's our relationship with our kids. What can we do to build a healthier community? Because we are not in this game alone. You affect me, we affect the next person, so on and so forth. We live in communities for a reason. So my call is, I want to see us be healthier. Yes. I want to see us not be the butt of the joke. I don't want to go to a function and all I see is overweight Black women and maybe one or two. That should not be how it goes. Even if you're naturally on the thicker side, are you still healthy? Are you getting your blood work done? Yeah. Are you making sure you don't have any hypertension, hormonal disturbances, diabetes, and things like that? Are you checking on yourself? Because if you're like, hey, I have a clean bill of health and I like the way I look, I won't look at you twice. You feel good anyway. So and you irradiate that and you vibrate that. So people won't even doubt you because they're like, oh, she good. That's how I see it. A lot of bigger women, especially on my Ugandan side, there's a lot of bigger women on the bigger side, not huge, not obese, but on the bigger side. But they're completely content and happy. And they like the little extra weight on them. And it's not around their stomach. It's usually around their legs or their bums and things like that. Because that's where we naturally grow. And that's where more of our curvaceous look comes from. Exactly. Based on what part of Africa you're from. Because East Africans look different than West Africans, than South Africans, than Northern Africans. We know it's not a monolith. So our experience is growing up in the East, especially in Ethiopian countries where fasting is very ritualistic and it's very intentional. And sometimes you do it for months at a time. Not all fasts look the same. There's the sun up, sun down. There's all sorts of things. Versus maybe you look at West Africans where they have more carb heavy diets. So that can lead them to be on the bigger side. So there's so many implications. There's so many nuance in this conversation. And I just want us to love ourselves. But generally, if you feel good, you're going to look good. It's very tied to each other. Just like you can see a skinny person and they look sick. They don't look happy and they don't look healthy and they probably are not. So it's all about how you radiate. So that's all we wanted to say. Absolutely.
You already know. Absolutely.
So let us know in the comment what you think. Give us your little 2 cents.
Yes.
Let us know if we missed something or what your perspective is. And maybe let us know what you've been doing. Are you walking every day? Are you eating less? What are you doing to get into a healthier mindset? And what has that done for you? We really want to hear from you. And maybe we'll have another part of this conversation where we can dive a little bit deeper.
Yes.
But for now,
we'll end it here.
Yes. Let's go back to our sauna.
Yes. Thank you guys so much for listening to us.
Made it this far. Love you always.
This far. Yes. The love is real.
Alrighty. We'll see you on the next one.
Bye.